I'll call the North Smithfield School Committee of December 19th, 2023 to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Martin.
Present.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
We have 5 present. We have a quorum. Let's go to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to public comment, community comment. Christopher, is it Jezik? Jeski, there you go. Right up.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to show up. I've kind of been talking to the superintendent's office as well as the town solicitor, a lawyer for myself, and DCYF also. Basically, I'm here just to voice my opinion on the item of Caden Jeski and his homeschooling. I'm his father. I basically said I do not want him homeschooled. I believe it's your laws and your rules that say only one parent needs to sign up for homeschooling, and if they approve it, too bad. And that's what I've been told. Unfortunately, that's where I'm at. I don't have much. I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. I'm just here because supporting my child. It's not in his best interest, not his best well-being of that child. He did not do any of the 10th grade work over the summer. None of it. So he stayed back. And then his mother decided he was to be homeschooled. And he did not do any work in the first quarter, according to his brother, who talked to me. I think it would be fair either to either reject or delay that choice. That's just thank you. Appreciate you guys. Let me speak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, moving on. Does anybody else want to make any public comment, community comment? Hearing none, I'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda. As presented, I guess I was going to say.
So moved.
Motion been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to the superintendent's report. Superintendent?
My main report is to say we have an amazing holiday concert waiting for us after this next door at the high school. And several of us are looking very forward to getting over there. But outside of that, it's just wishing everybody a good holiday and a safe little break and come back recharged in the new year.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions, concern? Moving on to the informational portion. Personal resignations, retirements, leaves, absences, and appointments, and special extracurricular appointments. Anybody have any comments or questions? This is again for informational. We do not vote on it. Hearing none, we'll move on to old business. Item number 1, the parking lot extension and solar panel canopy.
I'm sorry, would it be possible to move new business forward?
Sorry, yeah, I told you I would do that too. All right, so going back, we will not take that item up yet. Moving on to new, unless there's an objection, I'd like to go to new business. Hearing no objections, I'll move on to discussion regarding athletic uniform replacement plan.
Right. I'm going to be asking Amanda Bean to step up, but essentially what we're looking to do is accelerate the replacement of the uniforms. And we've discussed a plan at least to make a big dent in it, starting with the spring sports.
Yes, so we're hoping to move the acceleration of that up a little bit. The last spring uniform that was ordered was in 2016, so they're already about 6 years old with our baseball at 2003, I want to say, so they're about 20 years old. So we're hoping to push that forward, accelerate that process, so that way we can get more onto a cycle to stay within the budget that is already allotted for us in our athletic budget. Once we make this big push and we're able to get this kind of major ordering done and get them updated, then we'll be able to just stay within that the amount that's already there for us, which is about, I think it's like $10,000 within the athletic budget each year, just by cycling. And by cycling, I mean, if we need only 6 uniforms to just recycle and add in, that'll be a lot more manageable in ordering. But we have to get us to the point in that part for our uniforms. So we have to get this next load. We've finished off our winter, our fall is updated. So this is the next big haul would be to redo our spring sports and get them back up to date. Once we're able to do that, like I said, it'll kind of slow down in the cost and hoping to use less money in the future from our fund balances for this item.
So do you need, I'm gonna say, do you need more money to get that rotation going?
We're hoping, yes, we're hoping to use the fund balance, at least a part of it to help with that acceleration. I'm hoping to come back in January with a little bit more of a detailed kind of agenda item with that. I'll have a presentation for you on kind of costs, what that will actually look like. So we know moving forward what we would need from the fund balance in order to make that acceleration happen.
Any questions?
So tonight you just broaching the
I'm just
idea.
approaching it,
Okay.
preparing you,
Yeah.
getting you ready for that presentation that will come and it, it will be a large number. Uniforms are not, cheap, and I think it's very important. I know that this has been a hot topic. And I've only been here for so long, but I know that this is something that's been a hot topic, but we do, I think it's important to stick with the high quality that we have because they're lasting. Some of those fall ones, especially I look at the boys and girls soccer, we haven't repurchased those in I think about 4 or 5 years, and they look brand new. So, I think it's important to stick with the high quality that we can. And then that way that recycling makes it a lot easier.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the main point was that we just wanted your go ahead, investigate it, come back with the prices because if you approve it, we're gonna have to order it in January to have it in time for the spring season.
So just bring us a presentation and your rotation schedule after that.
Yep.
And we'll make a decision.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business parking lot extension and solar panel canopy.
Fortunately, we're running very fast and Alan's not here if you have
Yeah.
any further questions.
I don't think we need Alan here. Does anybody have any questions in regards to this matter?
Uh,
Go ahead.
I have some questions. So I read through this.
Mhm.
Where can I find the bid specs?
Have to check with Alan on that.
Okay, I'm just curious because I know there's fencing in here. And why and where do we need it?
Yeah, the bid specs, Lisa, they were pretty extensive. It's 120 some odd pages. And what actually comes at the end, again, Alan's very good at this. For example, with the baseball field, I know
Mhm.
there was some issues with the
No need.
the
for that.
fencing,
Right.
and he agreed and he cut that out.
Okay.
And, that saved a tremendous amount of money. He also moved a few other things around and so I don't know where he left off with the contractor on this. But ultimately, the price they came in would be, our share would be $375,000 as it was outlined.
And my other question, because I mean, I'm reading through this and I know we wanted the option of just the parking lot or the parking lot with solar. So if the solar goes, who is,
We'd have to circle back to Alan,
okay.
all right,
And-
so.
And my question is, who is getting the dollars for the
So
solar?
from one nobody would get solar. If we don't go with solar,
Correct?
all right, the project becomes much less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't require tax breaks from the town. I mean, and again, that's not my place to decide.
Okay.
Um, we did have the original estimate of just doing the parking expansion at about 150,000. Alan believes we can bring that down much lower. And so that's really where we stand with it.
Okay.
And I wish he were here because he's had extensive conversations with the contractors that came for the informational session. We only had one actually follow through a bit. I think he saw about 4 or 5 of them, but only one actually submitted.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, the other contractors
Because of
did not find it
solar or-
cost effective. They just didn't.
Okay.
And I believe, and again, I'm just trying to remember the conversations about this. You know, I think they bid on a 20-year tax break as opposed to originally it was 30 or 40.
so Superintendent, let me just try to understand this. I'm sorry, are you done?
No,
Oh.
go ahead.
So initially we were given a presentation that there would be no cost to the district. Now there's a cost of $375,000. I don't know why we would not spend $150,000 and just do the parking lot. The benefit is not to us. It is to them for the solar canopies. Solar canopies we're gonna have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops, do all different things. If the ultimate goal is to expand parking and somebody was gonna do it for free, let's listen to that. But if they're not doing it for free, then let's continue to investigate the
Right.
paving of it and expanding it.
And
Yeah.
part of the not being viable, the other companies were saying that they would have to look at putting solar panels in the front of the high school or in the student parking lot. They would need more real estate in which to put their panels up. So again, it just continued to get more complicated.
Sure.
If I-
Yeah, of course.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
No.
okay.
Sorry. We had talked about if we did it ourselves, is it still reimbursable if we, go ahead and do it ourselves? So a year ago, we had said that it was. Okay,
Right,
say, yeah,
right.
but, and that's what I was
Yeah.
hoping. would
Well,
be the case.
it's similar to the originally when we put out the project to replace the gymnasium floor and the bleachers. The it qualifies under health and safety, especially the bleachers. So again, we had a verbal yes, possibly, but we haven't actually submitted the
Mhm.
design or the project to the Department of Ed to review.
Okay. And it's funny because I was looking back a year ago and there was an article in the newspaper about the conversation we had. And my concerns are really still the same. It's the economics of it. Is there a financial benefit to us in some way? And it doesn't seem like there is, especially if we're spending $375,000 to do something like this. Is either the town getting a benefit from taxes or revenue from the sale of the electricity? We don't know that. So,
That was my question,
Yeah.
because for that kind of money, I mean, the town is saying they can pave how many miles of road for $800,000, and here we are getting 58 parking spaces for almost half of that.
Mm.
So it doesn't balance out. Where I think I had just come on, and I think the, question was, can we put it either just a parking lot or a parking lot with solar? So no one bid on just a parking lot?
So the RFP we put out was parking lot with solar. And I'm trying to remember if anybody bid on just the parking lot part of it. It was the whole thing.
Okay.
Right.
So,
And again, we have a company that's, I'm not saying we go with them, they're on the MPA, they do this work. They came in and they gave an estimate, but you know, again, it's difficult because you don't want to preclude anybody from bidding down the road or but
Exactly.
yeah, so we had that ballpark, that 130,000, 140,000, which in conversations again with Alan, he thinks he can lower that even much further.
And if that's on the MPA, we don't have to bid it.
Right, but
So-
it's still worth,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, doesn't seem like anybody's bidding. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
But I also, so we bid on contracts.
Mhm.
And if we bid on something in a municipality, we can go to the town's website and we can go to the school's website and we can find that bid.
Mhm.
You cannot find that
You
bid
can't.
when you do that. We need to go to BidNet. And if,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of contractors who could do parking lots,
Right.
but they don't want to sign up for BidNet.
Huh.
And then to get more access, you have to pay a fee. So somehow you have to get it on our website or the town's website so they can see the actual projects that people need to bid on. Okay,
Yeah, actually,
We do post them on our website and at BidNet.
okay, because when they
We
did the
also-
baseball, I found it on BidNet. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Okay, so I need to address it with them. Okay,
Because we advertise also in Valley.
okay. I think it's important, since they're working on a new website, that they actually put something in the DPW or projects, because if you go to Woonsocket, you can find it. If I go to Massachusetts, Uxbridge, I can find the projects. That's important, because unless you're doing big, huge corporate companies like Cartier Lynch or whatever, they do BidNet. Small companies who could do a parking lot, they're not looking there.
So you ready?
I'll take the responsibility for the website because we spend a massive $700 a year to host it, and I do all the work on it.
Oh.
So,
I
I got
just
you.
think it would
You-
be easier
yeah, no,
to get contractors interested in doing the work.
I got it.
Thank you.
So just trying to read the tea leaves here. I'll entertain a motion to reject the bid and rebid the parking lot or award it on an MPA.
Chair, are you saying like, you want the motion to be either or?
Well, I'm gonna leave that to the administration. So we're gonna officially reject the bid. Okay, which is required, or I would recommend that we do. And then I'm saying, if you want to rebid it or bring it back to us under an MPA, then you can do, that's at least what I would recommend.
I have one question.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, my bad. Very briefly, and I don't want to confuse issues, but Chair, I mean, Superintendent, I know Mr. CP's not here, but could you just speak briefly? You know, I've raised, my concern is the water issue, you know, we had some concerns expressed by some members of the public about the water. And I know you and I discussed it very briefly this afternoon. Can you comment just to that about what the situation with water out there would be?
I mean, there is research that shows that there is, you know, some degree of contaminants that come off of solar panels. Now, I have not researched it. This was not part of the bid. You know, I guess it would become, if this came through, There will be zoning issues to take a look at and DEM permitting and, there's other things that would happen, before any construction could begin and that would be wrapped up in that area.
The reason I'm asking is, well, it's just an issue in itself. Again, I'm open to this concept, but I do know since this issue came up before, I don't want to confuse the issues. I'm not saying they're related, but we do have the PFAS issues that's come up with some of
Yes,
those like
sir.
around here too.
Mhm.
And I don't know the kind of material those solar panels are made out of, but I'm
Right.
wondering if that would contribute to the PFAS level.
Well, I mean, and again, if we did go this route, we do have access to Department of Health and engineers, and we do have water consultants, and we are moving forward with a remediation plan for well number 2 at the high school.
Right.
Now, I can't tell you if the parking lot affects it. I know there's distance between them. I don't know about what happens with the aquifers
Yeah, I
over
appreciate that.
time. But we do have a lot of resources coming in, especially to deal with the PFAS levels in well number 2, which is up by the athletic field.
I guess I'm just raising the issue. Obviously, I don't expect the superintendent to be able to have an exact answer for
Right.
what the PFAS content, if any, would be.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head. That would take some research.
I'm sorry, I have degrees in history and anthropology and archaeology. I didn't go the science route, I've let you down, Bill. I'm so sorry.
We'll let it go this time.
All right.
So you want to try that, I'll entertain a motion to reject the bid. And rebid the parking lot. Or award it on an MPA subject to approval of the school committee.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Do they
Anybody
have the
want
option to
discuss it?
Is there an option to bid in that too, or is it just gonna do the?
Well, it's gonna be either rebid,
Either
it's gonna
rebid,
be up
okay.
to the administration to come back
Gotcha.
and say,
Yep.
this is our best deal.
Gotcha.
And it might be a bid, it might be an MPA. I don't, they'll have to come back. Okay,
Thank you, yes.
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to the fiscal year 24 operating and capital budgets. Lisa?
So nothing new for 24, but for 25, we were gonna ask that you select a subcommittee.
Oh, this is the budget subcommittee.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, yeah, it's at the A.
yeah, all right. So I thought this was negotiations. I'm sorry, I misread it. I mean, I spaced out on it.
Yeah.
All right, so Ms. Bartamoli, do you want to be on?
Sure.
Okay. Want to be on it?
Chair, and members of the committee, I've been on it before. I'm happy to be on it, but I know Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights in January and February, I'm gonna be tied up. So that's my restrictions with my work. And I know,
That we're gonna have the negotiations also subcommittee, so this one might be easier for you. And I can,
okay, I will accept that
all right.
appointment.
And
Try to
I
work with
can ask as a third person, Ms. Johannes, who I did speak with, although I did tell her it was negotiations, but I can, I'm sure she'll accept it. So I will officially appoint Ms. Bartamoli, Ms. Johannes, and Mr. Connell. Okay.
Okay, secondly, I need to have a date selected for the first meeting. It has to be no later than January 10th.
Ms. Bartamoli, do you want?
Anything.
So I think you needed a.
So let's do it with whatever
Thursday.
By when?
Mr. Connell.
January 10th, it has to be? I don't have a calendar in front of me. What is
Before
January 10th?
January 10th.
And what day is that?
It's a Wednesday, so we could do the 4th,
Which is what?
a Thursday.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay. So is there any further business?
That was January 4th.
What time is good?
Yeah.
What time would you like to do? Well, we can work it out, right? But do we need to set it?
Yeah, Fatima's gonna have to post
What
it.
time do you usually, what time do we usually do? 7? 6?
5:30. Is that too early for you?
On the 4th, I think I can make it. 5:30.
Okay, any further questions with that? Great. Mr. CP, just for the record, in regards to item number 1, the parking lot extension solar panel canopy, we rejected the bid. We asked that you either rebid it or go with an award on an MPA, bring it back to us. We'll rely on your skills, whatever is best
So you're looking
for
for,
a parking lot.
you're looking for parking, not solar. panels,
Period.
just
Yeah.
a park. Okay.
Doesn't make, unless you disagree with us, doesn't make any sense to,
No, that's why
Spend that
we've been
amount of
saying
money.
this from the beginning, just to expand the parking lot.
right.
Um,
If-
it just doesn't make sense to invest 20 years into a parking lot that's gonna cost you 150,000 one time, maybe, maybe even less.
Yes,
So I met with contract, I have been talking to a contractor that's doing the throw area in the baseball field. About going there, if we can do some of the work ourselves, like at Stanley Tree to cut the trees down, DPW. Maybe going in there to help level it, and then they can do their work, put some drainage in, and just maybe even getting it done cheaper, so I have yet to talk to Ray about this, but. I'm sure we can get it done. Look, we're looking for an expansion of a parking lot, right? Just a parking
Correct.
lot expansion,
correct,
nothing elaborate, just so it's an overflow, right?
correct.
Okay,
And a new egress, right? To get out?
no,
No.
it'd be the same egress, just,
Okay.
Is there a reason why they were putting new fencing?
maybe just because of the panels there, I have no idea, maybe just to keep the property separate from the rest of the field. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe because of the slope that's going down, just not to keep people from going there. They have to take the trees out along the street line, could be because of that also.
Right.
I wouldn't take the canopy trees off the street line, I keep them there, because I think you're gonna get a lot of, pushback from people, rightfully so, neighbors, but. It's not gonna be the prettiest thing, but it'll be functional, it'll be nice, I think, anyway, so.
We'll
The idea-
rely on your expertise, Mr. CP.
Look, the idea is to go in there, just level it, expand it, even if you put bluestone down for the first year or two, and then. Because that parking lot's gonna be needing asphalt in another 5 or 10 years anyway, and then do the whole thing then, who knows? But we'll get some numbers for you. Okay,
Thank you. That's
Just-
perfect.
it might not be 60 cars, it could be 45 cars, okay, that's. Still good. So,
Okay,
okay. I'm
thank you.
working on it. All right, that's it,
That's it.
drag me here for this.
You can tell he stresses over all of these things, it's,
Is there any further questions or concerns or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Adjourned.